Have you ever felt that insistent inner tug, a gentle but firm pull away from the clamor of the outside world? It's a feeling that defies easy labels. It's not laziness. It's not gloominess. It's a profound spiritual instinct saying, "My soul needs a different kind of nourishment today." The world quickly slaps a label on this: antisocial. People suggest you're missing out on life, on opportunities, on fun. But what if that conventional wisdom is entirely backward? What if your deep recurring desire for silence and solitude isn't a sign of weakness or avoidance, but a powerful sacred directive? In this message, we're going to explore 6 spiritual truths for the chosen few who find their truest selves, not in the spotlight, but in the soft glow of their inner sanctuary. By the time we finish, you will see your isolation not as an escape from the world, but as a deliberate preparation for transformation. If this deeply resonates with a quiet part of your spirit, take a moment to hit that like button right now. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and type 77 in the comments, in the language of spirit. The number 77 signifies that you are ready for a major spiritual download, and that your inner wisdom is peaking. Please stay until the very end, because this conversation is designed to finally validate and explain the deepest yearnings and actions your spirit has been guiding you toward for years. This is the moment to understand your path. Truth 1. You aren't hiding. You're realigning. You don't withdraw from the world because you're fearful of it. You retreat because you are spiritually awakening. There is a massive, crucial difference between those two states, and it's time you felt that distinction, right down to your bones. The external world, with its frantic pace, its loud demands, and its shallow interactions, is exhausting. It's an endless stream of surface-level small talk, superficial connections, and a constant draining noise disguised as essential productivity. Have you ever truly questioned why the relentless hustle that everyone praises leaves you completely depleted rather than genuinely energized? Why do those bustling, crowded environments that seem to thrill everyone else often leave you feeling more hollow than full? Understand this deeply. This is not simply a quirk of your personality or a passing mood. Your soul is actively vibrating at an entirely different, much higher frequency. Your inner self is attuned to a reality that is far deeper, more subtle, and profoundly more sacred than what most people perceive. Your intuition is not seeking external stimulation or chaos. It is intensely craving unadulterated truth, and the kind of truth your soul requires rarely, if ever, flourishes amidst a backdrop of constant noise and confusion. Chosen souls recognize this fundamental truth. The outside world, for the most part, does not nourish the spirit. It actively consumes it. It demands your precious energy, your complete attention, and an endless parade of superficial, material achievements. But within the walls of your own home, you can access real peace. This is the profound, restorative peace that most individuals spend their entire lives desperately seeking, but never quite manage to grasp. Your home isn't merely a structure where you reside. It is the sacred space where your soul is finally allowed to inhale and exhale freely. It is the quiet, internal temple where your heart and spirit are recalibrated after being overexposed to a frantic, soul-destroying world. But what if your deep desire to remain at home isn't just about seeking comfort or refuge? What if, without your conscious mind fully realizing it, your higher self is intentionally guiding you toward a deeper, more powerful purpose that can only begin to unfold within the embrace of solitude? Your deliberate withdrawal from the world is not a simple retreat. It is a profound act of spiritual regeneration. Your periods of silence aren't an absence of sound. They are, in fact, the vibrant and deliberate presence of your spirit. It is in this stillness that your intuition becomes laser sharp, your long-held dreams finally gain clarity, and your intrinsic spiritual gifts begin to strengthen and emerge. Pay very close attention to those subtle, powerful moments of quiet. The sudden, inexplicable chills you feel when you're completely alone. The bursts of intuitive insight that feel like they arrive from nowhere. The vivid, significant dreams that seem less like random imagination and more like prophetic, guiding messages. These occurrences are not random coincidences you can dismiss. They are divine breadcrumbs, meticulously laid out, leading you directly toward the fulfillment of your true core mission. Take a moment to reflect. Have you noticed how, After extended deep periods of time spent at home, your perception of the world fundamentally changes. You begin to notice subtle connections that others completely overlook, and you start to feel and recognize energies that most people would never even acknowledge. Your isolation doesn't just rest you. It actively sharpens your spiritual eyesight, allowing you to instantly detect deception, to effortlessly discern genuine sincerity, and to feel profound truths that the masses remain entirely oblivious to. You are not effectively shutting out the world. You are diligently refining your sacred senses for the precise moment when you must powerfully and purposefully re-enter it. Yet, society's labels are harsh. They call this necessary process hiding. They incorrectly label it as avoidance, weakness, or even crippling anxiety. But they are completely, profoundly wrong. This isn't a state driven by fear. It is a state built on deep intuitive wisdom. Subconsciously, you have recognized an undeniable truth. The external world, in its current chaotic form, simply does not reflect your pure internal reality. Your soul is tired of constantly trying to contort itself into frequencies that fundamentally distort its true, magnificent nature. Staying home in this context is your quiet yet firm act of rebellion, your resolute refusal to betray the very core of who you are. And it is right here that a hidden, powerful magic begins to unfold in your life. The more completely you embrace and honor this solitude, the exponentially stronger your spiritual resilience becomes. Every single quiet evening, every early morning spent in stillness or meditation, every moment of genuine, peaceful solitude is an act of meticulous preparation for something truly incredible and profound. It is aligning you perfectly, spiritually, mentally, and energetically, for a future role on this planet that demands absolute, unwavering clarity, unshakable inner strength, and complete authenticity. You are not effectively avoiding your responsibilities. You are actively and deliberately accepting your divine assignment. But let's push this concept even further. Could it be that your current isolation is also serving as your most potent spiritual protection? What if the entire universe, with its infinite wisdom, is intentionally keeping you separate and apart from certain specific places, events, and people? Have you allowed yourself to consider that perhaps your soul's deep, instinctive refusal to engage with the outer world is actively preventing you from stumbling into emotional traps, navigating profoundly toxic environments, and enduring spiritual ambushes that are specifically designed to drain your precious, essential life force? Always remember this. Chosen individuals often find themselves walking on paths that others are simply incapable of seeing or comprehending. They possess the ability to sense spiritual landmines and energetic toxicity long before they ever step upon them. They clearly perceive negative, corrosive influences that are cleverly hidden behind charming smiles and seemingly inviting words. Your chosen retreat, therefore, is not an act of cowardice. It is a display of strategic spiritual wisdom. So the next time someone casually suggests that you should really get out more, gently and firmly remind yourself that this sacred journey you are on is not, and was never meant to be, for their superficial understanding. Your path is undeniably unique. Your specific calling is rare and powerful. You are meticulously cultivating and preparing something profound and immense within yourself that the outside world is simply not ready to witness or understand just yet. And now, here is the most intriguing spiritual truth embedded in this process. Your solitary moments are not only preparing you, they are actively hiding you for a distinct reason. You are being hidden and protected because you are about to be revealed. And when the perfect divine moment finally arrives for your true mission to fully unfold, the world will not see a fragile, anxious soul hesitantly emerging from isolation. They will bear witness to a powerful, undeniable soul stepping boldly forward, a soul that is fully healed, completely awakened, and perfectly prepared for its purpose. But until that moment arrives, there remains one final profound mystery waiting to be uncovered. A deeper, hidden layer behind your consistent need for solitude. It's something your soul has distinctly sensed for a long time, but your conscious mind hasn't yet fully grasped the magnitude of it. And when you finally do, your entire perception of your life will irrevocably change. Stay completely present, Because the next truth is the key that will finally unlock this hidden revelation and provide the definitive answer to the question your heart has been silently asking all along. Truth 2. Your energy is sacred and you feel everything. The old labels are a lie. You are not overly sensitive. You are not simply overthinking things. You are not being dramatic. You are at your core, spiritually perceptive. And that sacred fact fundamentally changes everything about your experience of the world. When the majority of people walk into a room, their focus remains on the superficial. They register the furniture, the walls, and the faces. But you instantly feel the spiritual temperature of the very air you breathe. You sense the tangible weight of every unspoken word. You easily pick up on the energetic residue of past conflicts, hidden tensions, and quiet envy. This is not simply your overactive imagination. This is your refined spiritual discernment. It is a powerful, sacred gift, but it is also a tremendous responsibility you carry. Crowded spaces and rooms don't just physically overwhelm your body. They can feel like a genuine assault on your spirit. The very instant you step into certain environments, something deep within you contracts and pulls back. You can feel the falseness radiating from behind the forced laughter. You immediately notice the true underlying energy behind the superficial silence. You sense the difficult truths that others are actively pretending do not exist. And that level of sensitivity, that incredibly fine-tuned spiritual radar, is not something you consciously chose to acquire. It is something your soul was born carrying as part of its blueprint. But here is the critical piece of information that no one ever tells you. Feeling everything comes with a cost. Being this energetically open and aware is akin to walking through a torrential, driving storm without any form of umbrella. Every word spoken, every passing stare, every tiny shift in vibration soaks deeply into your being. And if you are not deeply intentional about your boundaries, you will quickly and inevitably drown in energies that were never yours to begin with. Energies of chaos, fear, and pain. That is precisely why staying home is not just your preference. It is your absolute sanctuary. It is your most essential, deliberate way of protecting your sacred personal frequency from being hijacked, diluted and polluted by the chaos, the ego-driven noise, and the constant energetic pollution of the mass consciousness. Most people simply do not realize how deafeningly noisy the world truly is. And I'm not just referring to the sounds. I'm talking about the soul static. People are constantly projecting their deep pain onto others. Places are echoing with unresolved, lingering trauma. Moments are constantly charged with intense, unseen pressure and expectation. You feel every single bit of it. Even if no one else around you notices, your spirit immediately does. Even if no one else seems to flinch, your intuition tightens in response. Even if no one else speaks up about the tension, your body physically reacts to the stress. So while they may mock your fundamental need for space, while they may question your frequent disappearance from social scenes, they have absolutely no idea how many subtle, unseen battles you are silently fighting every day just to maintain your internal peace and stay whole. You are not fragile in the way they assume. You are finely tuned, and like any finely tuned, highly complex instrument, you must be maintained and kept in the correct, regulated environment, or your unique, beautiful sound will inevitably distort and weaken. The essential hidden truth is this: your energy was never intended to be casually exposed or accessible. You were not designed by your nature to be freely available to everyone, everywhere, at every moment. You carry a unique divine signature, and anything that is truly divine must be diligently guarded and protected. That is why, often without consciously realizing it, your soul starts to gently but firmly pull you away from individuals who are fundamentally lying with their energy, from rooms that strongly echo with fierce competition instead of genuine connection, and from conversations where the actual truth is buried deep beneath a layer of performance and ego. And this separation is not because you are being judgmental. It is because you are being powerfully protective, protecting your clarity, your peace, and the integrity of your mission. But let us venture even deeper, because there is something truly mysterious and profound happening inside your being, something that explains not only why you feel absolutely everything, but what those intense feelings are actively trying to show and teach you. What if your profound sensitivity is not just solely about self-protection, but is also a critical part of your preparation? What if the singular reason you feel things so incredibly deeply is because you are destined and meant to see and understand what others cannot possibly perceive? There is a hidden, sacred blueprint embedded within this heightened sensitivity of yours. A secret, vital role you have been specifically chosen to play in the world. And only those who can feel the deep underlying currents of everything can fully step into the power of this role. You were not placed here simply to survive the world's noise. You are here to interpret it, to powerfully translate its hidden meanings, and ultimately, to transform it. But that kind of sacred, high-level assignment requires one fundamental thing above all else: complete mastery of your own energy. And that transformative, necessary journey of mastery always begins at home, in your sanctuary, where your beautiful spirit can finally breathe, uncluttered, completely undisturbed and untangled from the complex, messy emotional web of the world. Because very soon, you will not just be diligently protecting your high vibrational frequency. You will be actively using it for something far greater and more impactful than you could have ever previously imagined. And exactly what that something is, that is what we are about to uncover next. So stay close to this message. The next profound truth will finally reveal the full, magnificent purpose your sacred energy was truly designed for. Truth 3. Your soul recognizes a different timing. The mainstream world operates relentlessly like a complex, noisy machine, always rushing forward, always striving to reach arbitrary goals, and always demanding performance. It constantly shouts a singular high-pressure message: move faster, accomplish more, hustle harder. And if you dare to slow down, they are quick to label you as irrelevant, lazy, or falling desperately behind the curve. But your deep intuitive soul knows a much profounder truth. You do not naturally crave mere speed. You crave truth. You crave unshakable depth. You crave something so genuine and real that it will effortlessly outlive and outshine the surrounding noise and chaos. While the masses are frantically chasing meaningless numbers, fleeting views, and external validation, you are steadfastly chasing alignment. You are patiently waiting for that invisible internal green light, that sacred, unmistakable yes that originates not from the external world's demands, but from the deep, quiet knowing within you. And here lies the great paradox that the world outside will never fully grasp. You are not slow. You are exquisitely exact. This is because true divine timing is never measured by arbitrary clocks or calendars. It is fundamentally measured by perfect alignment, and alignment is the one thing that can absolutely never be rushed or forced. That is why being at home, in your sacred space, simply feels fundamentally right to your spirit. Because there you are not being torn and pulled in a million conflicting directions. You are not caught up and swept away in the chaotic whirlwind of artificial urgency and manufactured deadlines. You are not asked to maintain the pretense that constant, frantic movement inherently equals meaningful progress. At home, you deliberately operate in a completely different dimension of time, your own personal spiritual rhythm. And that unique internal rhythm is profoundly sacred. This rhythm is not always linear or logical in the way the world expects. Certainly doesn't always make immediate sense to others around you. Sometimes your rhythm will be quiet, slow, and seemingly dormant for many months on end. Then suddenly something powerful shifts. Doors will burst open. Ideas will flow with electrifying speed. Everything will intensely accelerate. And to the outside observer, it will appear like an overnight success. But you, the chosen one, know the deeper truth. It was never overnight. It was divine timing. You were actively moving, evolving, and growing all along, but you were operating at the patient, deliberate pace of true purpose, not at the relentless external pace of pressure. Let's delve even deeper into this concept. Something truly profound occurs when you completely stop measuring your fundamental self-worth by what you manage to accomplish in a single day. It happens when you stop the crippling panic caused by seeing someone else get there before you. It happens when you finally realize with unshakable certainty that the divine destination that God has personally prepared for you simply cannot and will not be given away to anyone else. Your soul intuitively knows that genuine, lasting fulfillment does not come from high-speed rushing. It comes from perfect sequence, one single, perfectly aligned step taken after another. And that specific kind of purposeful journey absolutely requires profound stillness, immense patience, and razor-sharp discernment. That is the true reason your spirit instinctively resists being rushed or pushed. It clearly knows the precise consequences that forced timing inevitably leads to: crippling mistakes, painful misalignments, and crucially, missed divine messages. So you slow down your external pace, not because you are confused or lost, but precisely because you are actively listening with every fiber of your being. And when you truly listen in the silence, you begin to hear something that no one else around you can perceive: the distinct, powerful rhythm of your own unique destiny. It pulses softly beneath the surface of the intense silence. It echoes clearly in those still, quiet moments when the world incorrectly assumes that nothing significant is happening. But spiritually speaking, absolutely everything is being meticulously rearranged and calibrated. And while others are frantically sprinting in exhausting circles, you are gracefully moving in spiritual spirals, rising distinctly higher each and every time you choose to return to the truth of yourself. So please, never feel a shred of guilt or remorse for moving slower than the frantic crowd. Never ever apologize for not successfully keeping up. You were never meant to fit into that artificial, frantic timeline. You are not late to your own party. You are, in fact, perfectly, beautifully right on divine time. But here's the spiritual twist embedded in this truth: the stillness and peace you have been resting within. It's not just a beautiful, quiet space. It is actually a powerful portal. And something of monumental importance is about to pass directly through it and into your reality. Something powerful is currently being profoundly formed and incubated in the silence you have so diligently honored. Grand revelation, a clear and urgent calling, a significant moment designed only and specifically for you. But in order to receive this profound gift completely and fully, you will have to understand one more essential thing that has been hidden beneath the surface of your unique timing all along. Something sacred that ultimately ties your personal spiritual rhythm to a much, much greater universal assignment. And that hidden sacred key, we are going to fully unlock it in the next transformative truth. Do not look away. You are about to completely understand why you were never, ever meant to move through life like the rest of the world.